live from the crowd.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonet's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lodge fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Producing. This is Halftime on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Take you for the next 3 hours. Clay Henry joining us about 15 minutes. We'll talk with Dudley Dawson, Brett Dolan. A lot of football to get to. Got a little bit of baseball, some basketball as well. And good morning to you, Matt Jones. How you doing today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It was a beautiful day yesterday. I don't know if you saw that Ja Morant dunk over Wemby, but can I get a poster of that? I mean, if you're Ja Morant, is that not your Hall of Fame induction right there? That was so sick.
That I did not see this dunk. I absolutely did not.
You got to watch it. It's if you're going to be 6'2" or under in the NBA, you got to either play above the rim or you got to be elite at a lot of things. And Ja Morant is so. You remember we went to Yellville to the grocery store and those 2 kids we were talking
Allen's
to. Who's
Grocery.
your favorite players? The kids. It was Zion Williamson and Ja Morant.
6'2", dunking over what is Wemby? 7'4"? He's a little taller than that in the shoes. That's amazing.
He's a pterodactyl, yeah.
Well, no, I did not catch wind of that. But if I just open up, if I look onto some highlight reels, I'm sure it'll be the first thing to see.
I didn't even click open. It's just there.
It's just kind of there for you. It's a couple of days until the next chance for basketball to end. Right now is a bummer of a losing streak. Arkansas basketball continues to be one of the only winless teams in SEC play, but hopefully that'll change up. You saw the Sooners lost to Texas yesterday. South Carolina lost on a buzzer beater. Close to a buzzer beater. I think there were 0.6 of a second left. That's close enough to Vanderbilt. So 3-0-4 SEC teams at the start of, what is this, the third weekend coming up of SEC play. Hopefully things will change once we get back to this on Monday. We can talk about an Arkansas win. You know, the thing that I'm seeing, Matt, on social media, and I think some of our callers have even detailed this. Certainly some texters have as well on the text line, which is always open for you at 877-377-6963. You know, we've kind of wondered a little bit about the deal with what the crowds have looked like at times in terms of Bud Walton Arena. What I do see and hear from fans, it feels like a bit of a disconnect between the way that they view Arkansas athletics, and I mean fans and viewers and listeners who've been doing this for a long, long time, 30, 40, 50, 60 years in some cases. Some of these fans have texted to me as well personally, and Matt, it does feel right now, halfway through this athletic calendar, and still a lot coming up. I mean, you got half a basketball season coming up still for both men's and women's, softball, baseball, gymnastics, outdoor track. You know, you just finished the football season and all that, but there's still a lot of golf to be played, as you'll put it sometimes. But it does feel like that there is a disconnect between some very loyal Razorback fans and the teams and the program that they've been following for a long, long time. No one's quite sure what to do about it. And maybe, you know, the magic elixir is winning, right? I mean, if you want to feel connected to something, sometimes winning would be the first thing to get on board with, whether it's bandwagon or not. And I don't know, maybe a winning streak for basketball might change some people's approaches. But have you sensed that, like a disconnect? Because I think it's one of the things that Bubba even brought up yesterday, you know, the idea that it does feel sometimes like players are coming, not just to Arkansas, but I think this is the case across the college landscape, where, you know, they came to play for the name that's on the front of the jersey, but it feels like a collection of just individuals on a team. And, you know, do you feel that coming from our listeners and from the fan base?
Well, you know, I do think there's some discontent, or they're disgruntled for the product that's being out there. It's not very good, especially when it comes on the back of the football season. And then I think that maybe they were unfair expectations. You know, maybe the fact that all of a sudden Coach Cal gets here, everybody just perks up and they think, oh my goodness, we're a Final Four team, and it's. Maybe that's unfair. I don't know. I do think he's the Nick Saban of college, which, by the way, Nick Saban just got inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Mike Vick too. But maybe they're unfair expectations. I don't know. The thing is their talent, and then I just think we have to question what you're hearing from people when they talk about these kids coming in. They like in you know, I love Boogie Flan, but everybody's like, Boogie Flan's a lottery pick. I'm like, hey, everybody, 6-foot guards don't go in the lottery. You know, like dude's good, amazing. He's our best player. He was 17 years old. He's our best player. Look at number 3. Number 3's not getting drafted in the first round. 21's not getting drafted in the first. So you got all these people telling us that all these guys are so good. So I think we have to wait, and we should make our own judgment. And instead, I think as fans, we believe what people say, and we just take it that, hey, that guy's this good, that guy's this good, instead of looking at the product out there. And the team is totally disconnected. They don't play together as a team. They go in spurts, in moments, and there's talent and athletic ability. But being an athlete and being a basketball player are different things. You get it helps if you're athletic. It really does. But your basketball IQ, do you love the game? Are you a student of the game? Are you a gym rat? You know, there's a lot that goes into seeing if you're going to be a successful team. And the thing is, it's tougher now than it ever has been in the SEC. This is the toughest it's ever been, because the money and the athleticism and the coaches and everything going in it. And the truth is, we're a come see, come saw. We're a very middle of the pack type of team, and we don't know how to play basketball.
Now, and I agree with you to a point about when it comes to what feels apathy isn't the right word, because people are just very disappointed right now. The apathy would be that you wouldn't care and wouldn't feel one way or the other about it. I feel the disappointment coming from our listeners and from our texters and Arkansas fans overall. But I also feel like, I mean, if you look at winning would be the easy thing to rally around. We wouldn't be having this conversation, even if they were 2-2 in the SEC.
If we were 3-1 or 2-2, yeah, it'd be a totally different conversation. It'd be like, hey, we can win. We got to go beat Missouri, get above 500. Right. We're still in it. This team now, Phil, there's 0% chance this team's making the NCAA tournament. We all
got to
right?
we got to go like to 0.05, like an 0.5 maybe, just saying that there's a slight chance. But we're watching what we've been watching right now. I would agree with you. It doesn't look
these
like
other teams are good too.
Yes,
that's the thing. There's other talent as well. It's not like, oh, we let something happen and we slipped up, but we're still better than these teams. Nuh-uh. These other teams are just as talented as us as well.
But kind of what I'm feeling, and I don't know, maybe this has more to do with men's basketball than potentially the other programs, but it's a feeling that, well, look, like your best home games in the non-conference were reserved for neutral sites, for television audiences more than anything else. You're everybody excited about, John Calipari being the head coach, and then there are times where it just feels like, yes, he's the head coach of the Razorbacks, but he's still John Calipari, the head coach of wherever it is he's going to be the coach. And it kind of senses to me sometimes like the athletes, and I'm going on the players for basketball specifically, and you can extrapolate this out to the other sports as well. But when I look at football, it's a head coach who grew up rooting for the Razorbacks, and I think has an understanding what the program means to you listening right now. You might not think he's a good head coach, but I think you at least would agree that he loves the program and has for a long, long time. Otherwise, I don't think he'd have been the head coach in this case. Baseball, I mean, we talked about Dave Van Horn yesterday. He's the longest tenured head coach on campus, played for the program. Mike Neighbors, somebody that grew up in the state of Arkansas. It was assistant coach. I mean, this is supposed to be the crown jewel of his career. I mean, these are people that know what it's like to be inside the state for a long, long time and be a Razorback fan, I think, from the outside first, looking to the in, and you don't feel that from basketball at the moment. And I love that John Calipari's the coach. I want him to be successful at Arkansas. But what I sense right now, Matt, is that the excitement has filtered away a little bit, and folks might be questioning or wondering whether or not, and I think Cal has a lot of pride in what he does for a living and what he has done for a living for a long, long time and has done better than a lot of other folks. Heck, he's in the college basketball. He's in the Naismith Hall of Fame. That's a short list of coaches. But I do think, reading what I read, hearing what I hear, that some folks question whether or not he really feels like he's the coach of the Razorbacks, or if it's just the next stop or the last stop on his trip around college basketball. And then there's some that feel like, they've kind of been priced out of some games because of ticket prices. And, you look at what some of the atmosphere can be like at times. Now, the Florida game, I thought the atmosphere was outstanding. I expect to see big crowds and excited crowds at Baum Walker Stadium. But it does feel to me like there's a bit of a disconnect between those who are fans, and I mean people who have grown up inside the fandom of the Razorbacks for decades, and those who are sort of, in charge of it all. I think everybody's got the best intentions put forward. It's complex to run an athletic department. It's complex for the jobs that those people have, but I feel that disconnect right now. And look, I mean, we have texters coming in that are agreeing with the way that they feel about this, and all I'm doing is reading from what I've seen on our text line on social media, and sometimes you can't just go by social media, but I believe what I see on our text line right now. And Matt, yeah, if they'd won a couple of games, I don't think we'd be having this conversation because nobody would be talking about that. They'd be talking about how excited they are about the next couple of months of basketball and where they could be seeded in the tournament and can we win the SEC and all that, and no one's talking about that right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different world now in the college landscape, and maybe as far as the way Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville, that Northwest Arkansas is, it's so corporate, it's so bottom lined, it's so the Fortune 500 type thing, and the rest of the state's not like that. So I do get what you're saying there, that's Arkansas is still a little man type thing if you look around the state. We're kind of old school, I think, in the state of Arkansas, except for spots, and especially that Northwest Arkansas spot. And you got a lot of people up there running things that aren't really Arkansas people, but they're smart, they're business people, they're capitalistic, and so you're looking at all the things that you're doing. They don't care about winning. They care about making money.
Well, I do think that there's a care about winning, but the money's always going to be the thing that's pointed to. I mean, that's why ticket prices are a certain way. I mean, pay your own salary, essentially, in a lot of cases. I mean, it's an athletic department of people that are there to make a living, just like you listening, they'd like a raise as well. And I mean, so we're all capitalists in this case. I do think winning does matter. That's why I mean it's a really complex job. These two things have to end up going together. So I want to know what our listeners feel about this. The reason I brought it up is because I'm feeling this from you. 877-377-6963 for the text line. We'll have plenty of time for calls as we go throughout the show as well. But we need a break right now because Clay Henry is feeling a heck of a lot better than he did yesterday. That's good news. And we'll talk with him in just a moment right after this break.
This is halftime.
I tell you what, I know this got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours,
We're the best team in the country today, and it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude free tax extra.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. We're here to help you get ready for the year ahead. Take advantage of our small engine shop special. Just $129 to service your mower or handheld equipment, any brand. Don't wait, this offer ends February 28th. While you're here, check out New Holland Tractors, Bobcat equipment, and more. Tough, reliable, and ready to work as hard as you do. Visit any of our locations or online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment. Equip your future. Elevate your potential.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on January 30th through February 2nd at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, January 30th through February 2nd. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Purple hat, cheetah print, dancing on the people. Rolled up at the after joint, dancing on the people. People dancing on the people. I got people on the people. People dancing on the people with the people on the people. Smoking CO2, see me, see you dancing on the people. Climb up on the booth, hanging from the people on the people. My head hits the roof, dancing on the ceiling on the people. I got people on the people, dancing on the people. I got purple hat, cheetah print, dancing on the people. Rolled up at the after joint, dancing on the people. People dancing on the people. I got people on the people. People dancing on the people with the people on the people. Smoking CO2, see me, see you dancing on the people. Climb up on the booth, hanging from the people on the people. My head hits the roof, dancing on the ceiling on the people. I got people on the dancing on the people.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Clay Henry with us here, Hall of Fame sports writer and contributor to just about every show here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com and all of those things too. It's exactly right. Clay, good morning. Got the voice back. How you doing?
I feel a lot better. I sounded better yesterday, but I still had that nagging cough. And I say about 10 words and just start coughing. So I didn't want to do that to y'all.
Well, that's okay. We'll just do our coughing during the commercial break here.
Yeah.
You know, the last segment, and I feel like you've got you got a real sense of the Arkansas fan base. You know, I don't think we would be talking about this if men's basketball wasn't 0-4 right now. But people are upset, and it doesn't feel like it's just with an 0-4 start. It feels, and I wonder if you feel this too. I've seen it on our text line from some of the callers, other fans I interact with, and then you see it on social media. Do you feel that there's a disconnect between Razorback fans and the athletic department, or maybe a specific program? Are you feeling that?
Oh, you know, I think it's just the price of everything has created this, you know, the jumping off point is a little quicker. But let's be honest. From May and June of last year, the signing of some of the players, and you thought it was going to be Final Four, and the expectations were just so high. And I almost want to say unreasonable. And I don't think I've ever heard of a roster starting from zero that people were talking about Final Four. And that wasn't reasonable or normal or anything like that. And then to go from there to over 0-4 in the conference. Now, the LSU game is different to me. I understood the first three, but again, you're talking about a team that's inexperienced together going on the road for the second time, true road game. I guess Miami was a true road game, but those others weren't. I want to throw something at you for perspective, and I mentioned this to somebody else today that's had a startup business. But 1992, I left the Tulsa World and basically started Hogs Illustrated from scratch. Had no employees, had no photographs. Just think of that. Had to publish a magazine and did not have a photographer, didn't have any photographs, didn't have any files to get photographs. And you're going to call yourself Hogs Illustrated, and you have to have a cover. You talk about pressure, and we had no ads. It was about 3 years before I felt like we were on stable ground as a magazine. No subscribers, no ads, no nothing. And I think that's kind of where Cal was last year. No players coming in, bringing new staff. He did keep Ronnie Brewer and Riley Hall in some the strength conditioning coordinator, but entirely new roster. Decided to do it with 9. I bet he would rethink that now. Not do it with 9 scholarship players.
How many guys were from his Kentucky squad though? So it's not really a new roster. I mean, didn't he bring 3 or 4 guys from Kentucky?
No, there were 3.
Those guys.
But
yeah, 3.
Okay, Wagner played last year injured. Ivizic came in.
Well, all I'm saying is it's not 0.
Played a few games. One guy. That's what you're talking about. that had real SEC experience and also the talent to play in the SEC. And then you're wiped out injury-wise for 2 months, not able to practice. They just look unpolished to me. Carter Knox and Billy Richmond, they were playing in crunch time Tuesday night down the stretch. You know, they were giving up plays on defense, either fouls or straight line drives to the basket. There were 2 by Knox when they were trying to make a comeback. Those are going to be really good players, but they're not ready right now. But they got to play.
I agree with you on that. I like both those guys. I think next year, if they stay here, Clay, I like both those guys.
Yeah, they're talented. And they got the right pedigree. But in Richmond,
they're babies.
Didn't finish in the open court. Got it blocked from behind. I mean, it's like it was a clean block. Defensively, they look unpolished, like they haven't played together, disjointed. And your best 2 players that you got, the older players, have been hurt or, were non-functioning players for November and December, which is Jonas Adu and Nellie Davis. And I think Adu's coming on, but I haven't really seen a solid game from Davis. I bet you got $2 million in those 2 players. But yeah, but I really think that expectations are probably where we're at. That they were probably unrealistic. There's nothing that I've seen from Calipari or heard from behind the scenes that he's not working as hard as he can. Somebody said, "Well, this will work against him in recruiting." I'm not worried about him recruiting. That's his bread and butter.
I think it works for him. He's like, "Come here and play. We need help. Look at this." I think it helps him.
You're right, Matt. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I think he's going to continue to look for 21 and 22-year-old players that can handle this. Somebody said, "Well, how do they beat Michigan and lose these other games?" Well, I think you put Michigan in the SEC. This SEC, they lost to Oklahoma and Arkansas, which are not in the top of the SEC right now. Michigan would struggle against this schedule. I mean, I think everybody that's not in the top 15 would struggle against this schedule. Ole Miss is pretty good, by the way. You lost at home to Ole Miss in Florida, and I think they're both pretty good. They've got to win some games, and until they do, we're going to continue to have this conversation, Bill.
Okay, so then I've been wondering, what is it that you feel that they can hang their hat on to do exactly that? They play so well sometimes in the first 10 minutes, and then it's choppy for the next 30, and you see an opponents be able to go. Yes, Matt?
Is that back to Clay's point? Because I'm trying to give a reason too, as far as maybe that's Clay's point of saying Coach Cal wouldn't have 9 again, because I think our guys, we do look a little fatigued. You look at our second half not being able to finish, it's because we don't have a lot of guys to be able to rotate in. We don't really feel like we have that depth. We got 4 or 5 guys playing all the minutes.
Yeah, and when you do, there's slippage. I mean, just like I said with Knox and Richmond, you put them in and they give up a basket or they make a play on offense that's disjointed. But they just, to me, my answer, everybody else I hear talk in their offensive oriented is like, well, they got to make more shots, they got to shoot better. Well, that's not what you fix first. You fix defensive rebounding and defense. Mm-hmm. That's the recipe for winning. If you look at the teams that are going to play Monday night, what do? They play defense. If you watch the teams in the Final Four, they all can play defense. They can score too. But if you can't stop somebody, the defensive lapses are what's given up these scoring runs where all at once somebody scores 12 in 3 minutes on. Well, that's defense. And if you play good defense, you're going to get some runouts. You rebound, you get a stop. And I don't see 5 guys rebounding. And you say, well, the bigs have to rebound. No, the guards. I see the long rebounds. The bigs are under the basket. The long rebound. The guards have got to go get those. They've got to crash.
You got to have better
just
anticipation. We
shot.
do kind of watch, Clay. You're right. The guards kind of watch the shot go, and then we react instead of having that anticipation. And I think that comes with playing.
That's young players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guards. You know, when you think about Bland and Richmond and Knox, they're just young. They've got the size to go rebound. They're big guards. Bland, Wagner will go rebound a little bit, but he's not a freshman. Those other three are.
What do you think, Clay, about? I think Boogie Flan is our best player. What do you think about having a 17-year-old kid that he's our best player? So who's the leader of this team? That's kind of who's going to galvanize this team. I know Coach Cal's the leader, but it's hard for a young kid to come in and be the leader. I don't know if it's supposed to be Adu or if it's supposed to be Janelle Davis or whatever, but who do you think is the captain, is the leader of this team?
Well, he is, and I see him talking to some of the other players. He's taking on more of that role. But here's the problem with that when you say, okay, who's your best player? The SEC can shut down one player. They definitely can. I mean, did Ole Miss shut down Flan? He had somebody in his face. They switched. Everybody, and I think Florida did the same thing. They were not going to let Flan get to the basket. I mean, he never got deep in the lane. And you have teams that you're so well scouted when you get to this point and playing these teams. So he can't be, and he scored 19 at LSU. But good defensive teams shut down guards. And I went back and tried to analyze what did Ole Miss do at Alabama. Well, they shut down Sears. I mean, he's the best player in the league, right? Preseason player of the year, and I think he got 11. Well, that's the recipe. And Ole Miss can shut down a guard like Flan. So you got to have help. You got to have more. And I look at the box scores and I see 0, 0, 0, 0. If you see 3 or 4 zeros and guys that played 10 minutes, well, that's too much pressure on the other 2 or 3 guys.
Clay, let's move over to football here. As we got just a couple minutes left, I wanted to get your thoughts on the championship game coming up on Monday with Ohio State and Notre Dame. I thought I saw last Ohio State might be a 9-point favorite. I checked it yesterday, so I haven't seen if the line's moved at all today. I mean, that generally sounds about right. And the idea that Notre Dame's defense could probably hang for a while is just Ohio State is the most balanced team offensively in the college football playoff. That's played itself out. And defensively, they're really good too. And you just wonder if Notre Dame is if they can throw the ball enough to be able to get them off the running game.
Yeah, the two things that make these teams different. I think Ohio State has playmakers at wide receiver and tight end and running back. They've got 5 or 6 guys spread the ball around. What Notre Dame likes to do is they like to man up the wide receivers and play 7 or 8 against the run and stop the run. If they can do that and they can man up number 4, the great freshman wide receiver at Ohio State, if they can man up those couple more of those wide receivers, well, maybe they can get some pressure with 7 or 8. But I don't think they can. I think Ohio State's going to score some points. And I think Notre Dame's running game depends a lot on a running quarterback, and I think Ohio State's is going to beat that guy to a pulp. I think they're going to hit him, and he's not going to like the way he feels at the end of that game. I could be totally wrong, but that's the way I see it, and I think that's the way the betting public sees it. That's why the line is almost it may be double digit by Monday night.
Commissioner Jones, I think you just got Clay's pick for Monday. Pretty easy to hear.
I think everybody. I don't know a single person picking Notre Dame unless
except for Lou Holtz.
Unless you're trying to win the game. Yeah.
I think the Pope picked them.
Yeah. That'd be about right if he is a football fan. I mean an American football fan.
And a big Catholic. Yeah, he is.
He might like soccer. He
joking.
might like soccer a little bit more, coming from Argentina. All right, Clay. We'll leave it there. I appreciate you hopping on today, and looking forward to having you next week. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Clay.
Clay Henry got 100% of that voice back. All right, now here's one thing, and I'll just go to the break with this piece of information. And I think when you look at a couple of other teams in the SEC that also have first-year coaches and completely new rosters, look at Kentucky and look at Vanderbilt. Both teams are 14-3 overall. They've combined to go 5-3 in the SEC. Kentucky is 3-1. Vandy with wins over LSU and yesterday over South Carolina, 2-2 in the league. The top 9 players on both of those teams are brand new to those teams, and the coaches are new as well. Byington at Vanderbilt, Pope at Kentucky. I mean, completely new teams and completely new coaching staffs. The difference is that more in the rotation for Arkansas are freshmen. Boogie Fland, Carter Knox, Billy Richmond. There aren't any freshmen in the rotation of those other 2 teams. And the rotations for both Vandy and Kentucky has gone much deeper than the Razorback rotation. So I don't think all first-year teams are equal, but when we're looking at a first-year coach with a completely new roster, Arkansas and John Calipari are not the only versions of that in the SEC this year. 877-377-6963 to get with us on Halftime. We'll come right back after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
What's better than getting something for free? Winning. And with the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you get the chance to do both. For $5, you get 3 tickets, a Powerball ticket with Power Play, a Mega Millions ticket, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket. That's 3 ways to win. So ask for the $5 bundle today. Bundle is eligible with Quick Picks only. Offer ends February 28th. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Are you tired of the same old smelly gym? Then it's time to try something new. Let's Hang Out. The Hangout Fitness and Sports is the River Valley's only multi-sport family-friendly facility with a 24-hour gym and indoor courts for tennis and pickleball. With over 8,000 square feet for the gym alone, it's never overcrowded. The Hangout has certified trainers on staff with group personal training available. If HIIT, bar, yoga, or Pilates is your thing, they have that too. Join today and get January for free with a 3-month commitment. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's Hang Out.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Ain't no pain but the buzz of brain. Don't blips on tips on the back of thing. Don't things I'm a win with the junk and change. No pain but the chills of change. Ain't no pain but the buzz of brain. Don't blips on chips on the back of thing. Don't things I'm a win with the junk and change. No pain but the chills of change.
Never mind, sit back down. Never mind, sit back down.
Get up.
Never mind, sit back down.
Get up.
Radiohead, I'm vibing. I'm stuck inside my head. I'm stuck inside my house. Radiohead, I'm vibing. I'm stuck inside my head. I'm stuck inside my house.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Tough news coming here from our friend Tom Murphy covering at the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Yesterday, he announced on X that he is battling throat cancer and won't be able to cover basketball or baseball at least for the next 7 to 8 weeks. He said he's going to be undergoing radiation and chemotherapy treatment. Obviously, still in the couple of months after his very good friend, and he even referred to him as his brother, Bob Holt, passed away. And Tom was kind of first there to try to help Bob at one of the first after his collapse at the Missouri Football Stadium. So now Tom dealing with his own health scare and battle. And I know he's got all of our listeners and everybody here on ESPN Arkansas in his corner. We've heard him on the Morning Rush for, heck, I don't know how long now. He's been doing it, I think, since the show ever was started. So he's one of the best in the business, and we'll be in his corner throughout all of it. So hope Tom is feeling well, and Abe, I know he's got family behind him, he's got friends behind him, colleagues, and the people that he covers, I think, certainly are in his corner as well. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime today. Anybody got any baseball questions? You can just fire them along to that text line. Dave Van Horn spoke to the media yesterday. Matt Jones from Whole Hog Sports had a nice piece about the potential starting rotation, which to me, I don't know Dave basically pointed out to 4 pitchers that should be your starters, and it works well now that we have a 4-game series to start the season with Washington State, and you don't have to worry about a Tuesday game to bring somebody in. So Gabe Gackle, Zach Root, Gage Wood, Landon Beidelshees. And it sounds like Gackle's the Friday guy for sure, but nothing's certainly decided about that yet. They'll have some scrimmages starting next week and have a lot to go by there. But perfect game, and I kind of gave a little bit of shade to Perfect Game for inaccurately placing Gabe Gackle in the bullpen when he's going to be a starting pitcher. The 3 guys, Matt, that are expected to be starting pitchers for Arkansas this year were all named preseason SEC by Perfect Game. So you don't usually see an entire starting rotation listed there, but Arkansas's starting rotation is there before they throw a single pitch 29 days out. So That's always good to know that you feel you got a really good pitching staff waiting for you. Yep, and as soon as I said baseball, there's Woods texting in, time for baseball questions. Anything you need to know about this team, let's hear it. Or we can just talk basketball and football and go from there. Yes, Matt.
I got a question for Woods. Who's he play with the Stratomatic? That's what I want. Who's his squad? And
I think he said it was his dad. I think it was a gift for his father.
Oh, okay.
So he must be playing it with his dad.
Maybe he's played it though. Maybe he can say who his squad is, because
the version I got him from the Hall of Fame was the Hall of Fame version, so it's all Hall of Famers in there.
The Oakland A's, the Bash Brothers, those 88, 90, the Big Red Machine. I mean, those would be. I know you wouldn't be a Big Red Machiner, but that would be a good team. What's your favorite Pittsburgh team? Kind of, is there a 70s or 80s team that you would go with? I mean, you got to have Pops on your
none
squad,
of the teams over the last 32 years, that's for sure. Not a single one of them. No, probably the '79 Pirates, since that's the last one to win a World Series, and I was 2 years old and. Man, I've got such great memories of 1979 being I don't remember a damn thing about being 2. Brent is here with us at 877-377-6963. What's up, Brent? How are you?
I am great, Phil, man. How about you guys?
Outstanding. Thanks for the call.
Hey, before I get going, my heart and my prayers go out to Tom Murphy. Battling throat cancer. I've had both of my parents were. My dad was a cancer survivor. My mom passed from it, but as chemotherapy, and they never had radiation. But chemotherapy is no joke. It'll knock you to your knees. So my prayers go out to Tom. I'll pray for him every day and night. Has he started his treatment yet?
I don't know. I just know from what I saw on his tweet yesterday, and then I just texted some support to him this morning. I don't know when he starts it, but he said over the next 7 weeks.
I just heard it this morning. I didn't. But yeah, we got. I've never heard a team that gets more excuses made for them than the Arkansas Razorback basketball team this year. I mean, they say, "Oh, they hadn't practiced together." Well, we're paying them We're paying $5.5 million to our 5 starters during the year. So we expect you to be able to play on the road. We expect you to be able to play together. And I'm frustrated. I'm with Matt. I see us winning maybe 15 games this year, maybe. Because it's not going to get any better.
Brent, we got to run. I appreciate your phone call. Thanks a lot. You got to start somewhere, one win at a time. But I feel like it's more like a good 5-minute stretch, followed by another good 5-minute stretch. Don't even break it down to halves or quarters. Just keep it as simple and short as you possibly can, focusing on excellence for very small stretches. But then there's the other idea, Matt, that maybe it's a team that just doesn't have enough players to be able to sustain a 40-minute basketball game, because we have yet to see it happen in the SEC. And yes, I think when I'm looking at some of the other 2 teams that I'd mentioned that have first-year coaches and brand new rosters, they just have more bodies that are getting minutes. It's the same idea as needing a second running back, right? I mean, you don't want somebody that's routinely carrying 25 to 30 a game.
You'd like for Big Z to be playing 21 minutes a game. You'd like for Janelle Davis not to be hurt to the whole time, to be able to play, so our guards could have a little better rotation, where Wagner's not having to play 38 minutes, where Boogie's not having to play 38 minutes. And I do think, and to do the same way, but I think their efficiency numbers, Phil, would be a lot better if you're able to give them a little bit of spot rest, just a little bit there, because there are a lot of timeouts, and you get a timeout every 4 minutes, but still they need a little bit more rest, because – and you talk about stressful pitches for pitchers in certain games and how it just, you could see it wear on them. That's what it is. It's every minute is a stressful minute when you don't have somebody else to come. And they're young kids and they can do it, but still you need to find them a couple minutes here and there. And I think their efficiency numbers would go up.
And in baseball, you don't see those stressful innings all coming together to bother somebody in March when you start conference play. That usually pops out in May or June when a guy starts getting tired. It's 4 games into SEC basketball, and this is what we're talking about. You would think that maybe there might be a little bit of that in March. No, it's happening in January. We got a break. We'll come back, wrap up the first hour of halftime right after this.
This is halftime.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Don't act so special. What I do is not for you. Forget about it. You made this mess up. Now get your door. about it.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
If you've been listening to the show since it started in 2018, you'll know I am a Bob Uecker fan. As a play-by-play broadcaster in baseball, I geek out on others that are really good at it, especially those who have a great sense of humor. Bob Uecker passed away at age 90 overnight. Lived a wonderful life. Never got to call a world championship for his beloved Brewers. Here is Bob Costas and Bob Uecker discussing Uecker using the cough button like nobody else.
Now, here's something. It just came to mind as you were telling me this story. And we can't fill in the particulars. But if your friends show up in the booth, somebody you like, somebody you trust, right? You've been known to do parallel broadcasts. You were part of it. Yes, I was. Use the cough button. So now it's, so here's Joe Jones, utility infielder hitting .262. Then you hit the cough button and offer some ridiculous, often off-color assessment of the situation for the amusement of the people in the booth, then release the cough button in time for the next pitch. There was an art to this.
I do that when people who don't really know what they're in the booth for the first time, right? And I can, push that button down. It's right in front of me.
They think this is actually part of the broadcast.
Did you hear what he just said?
I remember one time I'm in the booth, and I would bring some friends sometimes just for the parallel show that's going on. And so I won't mention the name. It's like, so here's so-and-so, former MVP, popular with all the fans and ball players. Fat, overrated, bleepity, bleepity, bleep. Foul, back to the screen.
The cough button is a godsend. It really is.
Certainly for somebody like Uecker. And so you think of Harry Doyle, you think of his partner and some of the things that he said. I feel like the Harry Doyle, it was just Bob Uecker doing himself. There wasn't any script to that. That was just him being him. And I wish sometimes we didn't just remember Bob Uecker as Harry Doyle from Major League, because he's really one of the greatest sports broadcasters of all time, not just a great movie character. Second hour of halftime coming up in just a moment. Glad to be with you today.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3 get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
At Phil Wright Autoplex in Russellville,
we know you have many places to buy a car. Our competitive pricing and no-pressure sales team
has made us your premier GMC and Chevrolet dealer in the River Valley for almost 50 years.
Our impressive inventory is changing daily. Shop online 24/7 at philwright.com.
For a simplified buying process, trust Phil Wright Autoplex. Great inventory, great prices, and an overall great buying experience. Exit 84 off I-40, Russellville.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies are high this afternoon in the low to mid 50s. We stay clear tonight, overnight low in the low 30s. We'll see some sunshine early Friday, cloudy skies building in throughout the day. Otherwise, we may see a little rain in the afternoon, a high in the low to mid 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Wagner paints.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got to take it here. That's the perspective. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well,
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on halftime. Hour number 2, as you're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston is producing, and we'll be talking with Dudley Dawson about 15 minutes from right now. A lot of basketball in hour number 1. We'll do some basketball in hour number 2, but other things to get to as well, including Quinn Ewers headed to the NFL draft, so no more soap opera at quarterback for Texas. I was going to run down the list of who might be the assumed starter at quarterback in the SEC moving forward. I did see, Matt, where Jacoby Criswell is transferring out of North Carolina for a second time. I don't think the writing was on the wall there, as got transfers coming in and a top-notch, five-star high school quarterback going to play for Bill Belichick. And your boy Matthew Sluka, remember him? The former UNLV quarterback who left the program because of what he claimed was unpaid NIL money that was promised to him after, 4 games? He's transferring to James Madison. So I don't know. I just would expect that James Madison might not have the same amount of money that UNLV had for NIL. So I don't know how it worked out for this kid.
Well, that's I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess. It's a great time to be a college athlete. One of my former teammates now, I wasn't teammates with him in Tennessee, Phil, but I was teammates with him in Jacksonville Jaguars. John Henderson, defensive tackle. He's in the college football. Love that dude. He's a great teammate, and so that's it's always pretty cool when you see former teammates. And very, very dude was an absolute beast at defensive tackle. No question about it.
Yeah, I'd seen the Hall of Fame class.
Michael Strahan, Haloti Ngata, John Henderson. Where are you going with those 3 guys? You ain't going anywhere. I mean, you're not doing anything. You're not running the ball against those guys.
Let's say you should have like a flag football game between the guys who are still alive to play in the College Football Hall of Fame. And Mike Vick would be the quarterback. Do you think he'd be able to get past them?
Vic, he might be the one. Vic might be the one, but man, those 3 right there, those guys did it for a while. And I mean, Strahan, Haloti Ngata is one of the best ever to be at his position. So that's wild.
All right, we got some callers on hold. Let's get to them. It's 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. Dave is with us first, calling us from Van Buren. Dave, good afternoon. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to let you know about something, but if with Bob Uecker passing, if you haven't been on YouTube and watched some of his appearances with Johnny Carson, that's absolute classic TV, and I think I read he was on there over 100 times. And there's also a Hall of Fame speech that he gave when he was inducted. I'm pretty sure as a broadcaster, not a player. And that he had major league athletes clutching their sides. He was never laughing so hard. So you could set aside a little time and do some binge watching, because you'll find 4 or 5 really good videos. And then there's
seen
also
Hank Azaria in Brockmire.
Yes.
That reminds me of Euchre a little bit. I don't know if
That would be
baseball
Euchre turned up to 11.
Oh man, he's a little bit. Yeah, he's a little bit out there. But Brockmire is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Bob Euchre was probably the funniest person to, it's good, clean stuff too. I mean, you can enjoy it with your kids or whatever if you're a family setting. But
now my introduction, Dave, to Bob Euchre were the Miller Lite commercials. Next time I'll be in the front row, because I wasn't watching Carson when he came on. I wasn't allowed to stay up that late. It's not like I was allowed to drink Miller Lite either, but I remember the commercials. And then when I got interested in doing play-by-play, and you start listening around to some of these people, and it's like, wait a minute, this guy's got the absolute perfect mix of accurate play-by-play that matches what the crowd sounds like. He tells you what you need to know, and he's going to make you laugh your ass off too.
Yeah, you could listen to him on Sirius XM, some of their games and things, in his broadcasting there. When he was still with the Brewers, but yeah, you'll love that. And I'll point out one more thing. When Johnny Carson was from Nebraska, and the University of Nebraska had a big hall, I think, named after Johnny Carson. And of all the guests on the Tonight Show, the only person they invited to come over for that ceremony was Bob Euchre. And I think Euchre may have been Johnny's number one favorite guest.
His favorite, Johnny Carson's from Nebraska. One of his favorite jokes that he says all the time is, he's like, "Why does Iowa why is it field turf? So the cheerleaders won't stay after the game and graze."
I've heard the same thing about Texas A&M. I'm pretty sure heard this very same thing about Texas A&M.
Johnny tells a great story about being from Nebraska and it's snowing in California, and he took his boys out and built a snowman. And after they went back inside, most people in California didn't have any idea what to do when it snowed, and built a beautiful snowman, button eyes and everything. And he said, while they got back inside, they heard a noise and looked out, and somebody pulled up in a car, and 2 guys jumped out and stole the snowman.
See, Matt, eventually you'll see Euchre with all of the Carson reruns that you like to watch.
Well, I'm sure they'll probably plug some of those in rotation now. Yeah, and I love the ambiance and just seeing the old, this how they carry themselves in that time period. It's pretty fun to watch.
You know what else I remember him from, Dave? And I wonder if you saw this show too, because I was allowed to watch this on television. Remember Mr. Belvedere? And he wasn't the title character, but he was the husband and father who was the sportscaster, and that was his chance at least. Well, he was already immortal on television because of Carson, but that was the one thing I remember him doing that was actually scripted outside of Major League. But I remember watching him on Mr. Belvedere.
A lot of times when the Brewers would play the Angels, that's when they would have him on, because they taped the show earlier. But sometimes it rubbed him getting back to the ballpark for the broadcast and for night games. And but that's how he was on a lot, because he would be in Los Angeles during that time.
Well, here's the last call that Euchre made, and this is heartbreaking too, because this was a 5-0 loss to the Mets that ended their run in the postseason this year.
Well, New York down, they did it. And the crew will have it end here tonight.
Really a crushing end to what was a fabulous season for the Milwaukee Brewers.
I'm telling you, that one had some sting on it.
Here's partner there who we've had on the show, Jeff Levering, a friend of mine that used to do Texas League games in Springfield. He's been Uke's partner for, I think it's been 5 or 6 years now. He's heartbroken, and they all are. Look, this isn't a Milwaukee talk show or anything, but he was the voice of the Brewers since, I think, 72. I think there's only one other team that's had a broadcaster for longer than that, and it's Denny Matthews with Kansas City. We've got Royals fans that are listening right now, so you'd know how you'd feel. So that's exactly how all the Brewers fans are feeling.
We've lost so many longtime greats like Jack Buck and now Bob Uecker, guys that were with teams for years and years.
Didn't we just lose the LA guy a couple years ago, too?
Yeah.
Ben Scully, that's right.
Ben Scully,
I think a year or two before that as well. That's right.
Yeah,
Dave, thanks for the phone call, man.
It's hard to replace those guys. Thank you.
Well, no, you can never replace them. I don't think you try to. It's just, you end up renaming the booth after them, and then folks try to at least follow in footsteps properly, and it's going to be impossible to do that.
Well, you emulate those guys, don't you? I mean, when you're in that profession, aren't you trying to glean as much from those? I mean, those guys are the guys that did it the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing with Uecker, it's like you can't just try to do comedy on baseball broadcasts. It's got to come up in a very organic way, and so much of that has to do with the relationship between the partners. The thing is like Uecker just had this relationship with the listeners that is difficult to describe and difficult to achieve. It's a chemistry, it's a connection kind of a thing that just feels cosmic. Just like we got the same kind of connection with Charlie, who's called here. We've got a cosmic connection, Charlie, right? Good afternoon. What's up?
Exactly the point I was going to bring up, Phil. There's a connection here. And you know what? This goes right into my point or my question. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to do it because you would do me the same way, because that's what we do. We mess with each other. If you had to choose someone that calls in here, and you know what, just for a game or two, depending on what it is, he's got to be your partner. Now, you can't, don't say the Tuna, because I know that's really your answer, but don't say him because I'm calling. I know that's your answer. I would pick the stats guy. What's his name that calls in here? He's got all the stats all the time. Can't think of him right now. That'd be my guy if I was you, but I'm going to let you choose. Yes, that's him. I'm going to let you choose, Phil. And then, Matt, I wanted to ask you, you think you could, you and Phil could call a game together. How would that go? And then one more thing before I go here, because I got to get off here. Bradley Beal or Jimmy Butler, Matt, who would you guys choose if you had to make a trade? You're a contender. I want to go make a run. That guy, for me, can help me win right now.
Jimmy Butler all day.
That's who I would go to, but I just want to know what all y'all think. I'm out of here.
I like Bradley Beal, Florida Gator. He's SEC guy. I'm not hating on Bradley Beal, but if right now you're saying who do you want, Jimmy Butler?
So I think
we could call a game because Phil. I would just sit there and look pretty while Phil did his work.
Well, what game are we calling? Because if it's football, I'm just getting out of your way. If it's basketball, I'm getting out of your way. If it's baseball, I might get in your way. So I don't know which sport.
No. You could never get in my way. That would be It would be good, man. It would be all.
Well, can you at least help me out and figure out who our favorite caller is here? Because I don't want to give an answer that insults anybody. Who's our favorite caller? It sounds like Charlie was really kind of like, I don't know, fishing for compliments. Is Charlie our favorite caller?
You know who I miss a little bit is your boy Cody from Blue Ball. I miss him. He used to call in a little bit, get a little Seinfeld going on. I don't know what.
Wait for
he's
tomorrow
always had
post
some cool
1 o'clock.
stories.
He was always a golden hour.
Yeah, had some cool stories and stuff. I do appreciate the Tuna's consistency. I kind of look forward to it's always, Phil, when you're gone, he doesn't call in as much, but it's always kind of look forward to the Tuna's phone call.
I'm going to try an experiment here, and I say that my favorite caller is the next caller, but you can't actually call in the next segment because we got Dudley Dawson coming up. If you're looking for a new side-by-side motorcycle, ATV, or zero-turn mower, you don't have to look any farther than your local Wood Power Sports store. Locations are in Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville. They got over 9 brands to choose from, thinking of Can-Am, Kawasaki, CF Moto, just a few right there to name. Their locations also provide with outstanding service and parts capabilities and even offer deliveries. WoodPowersports.com to learn more. Wood Power Sports is a solid name that you can trust. All right, we've got Dudley Dawson from Hogville coming up on halftime right after this.
Yo, don't be so cool, dude.
This is halftime.
On second down, the give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. 25 to 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. And the Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on January 30th through February 2nd at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, January 30th through February 2nd. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
new outside the window, beautiful and strange. It must be falling.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back here on Halftime, we'll head to the phones. And Hogville's Dudley Dawson joining us here on a Thursday afternoon. Dudley, it's a beautiful day outside. How you doing?
In fact, Patriot and I are headed tomorrow to see our grandson for the weekend, a future Major League Baseball player himself, I'm sure. So kind of looking forward to this weekend.
Okay, would you root for him? Would you root for that grandson if he ends up getting drafted by the Chicago Cubs and as a frontline starting pitcher? What do you think?
Absolutely, but he'll be a third baseman.
Okay. Have you worked on his left-handed hitting yet? Because that's always a help.
I've already got him a Louisville Slugger bat. He's 11 months old. Can't swing it just yet around the house. My son has far more rules than I did when he was growing up. So, but looking forward to it. He's going to have every opportunity to be successful.
Well, I think this baseball team in less than a month will have every opportunity to be successful too. It's just, and we'll get into basketball obviously, but I know you were in on the Dave Van Horn Zoom yesterday. You know, I look at this roster and I think it's a really nice balance of experienced talent that's been successful maybe at some other places. Guys coming out of JUCO ball that looked amazingly talented, that are being tested in a way that they haven't been tested before. Returners who've been good at Arkansas, guys that are bleed Razorback red, guys like Will McIntyre. And I think that it looks like potentially one of the most balanced teams that Dave has.
You know, I feel like I saw almost every scrimmage 2 years ago. I think I did see every scrimmage this fall. And I don't mean to be hyperbolic, but I see a much more well-rounded, well-equipped baseball team to go into SEC play. You know, which is saying something since they've been 20-10. I guess both the last 2 years been really good, but it is a more complete team. We're not going to have TBDs as your starting pitchers. I think you're going to have an outfield that can go get the ball and also hit and steal bases. I think the infield, and you know I'm high on Britton Arundel, the third baseman. I think that it's just a more complete team, and it is one that, as Coach Van Horn said, he may have been saying it for the team, but I think he's also saying it for the coaching staff, that they're on a mission to not finish the way they have the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you know, I didn't ask Dave this on the Zoom yesterday, and at some point I'll bring it up maybe in a pregame interview or something. But I'm just impressed with his resolve to stay in the college game and not retire. I mean, he could retire. He's got nothing else really to prove out. He's won a national championship Division II. And it's not easy to put a baseball team. It's never been easy to put a college baseball team together, but maybe no more difficult than it is right now and in the near future with the roster limits changing. And then, I mean, you look on campus, he is the longest tenured head coach of any Razorback sports program. Played there, of course, in '82. And like this, I appreciate all of those things about Dave Van Horn. I always have. But with the house settlement coming up, with NIL being such a major topic, I don't know if I've ever appreciated that as more as I do now.
Yeah, and there are people, no matter what sport, with the regulations or rules or non-rules that we have now in all college sports, that are looking to get out and just coach and not do all the other things that you have to do collegially these days to be successful. And he stayed in there. As you said, he could easily bow out right now, but has decided that he wants to, I think, keep pushing. And obviously we all know the one thing he wants more than anything else is the national championship. And there's still some time left to get that, and I think he's going to keep pushing toward it.
Dudley, it is kind of a grind. Baseball is kind of a grind. What do you think? What would be kind of something maybe that coach could change? We're just kind of picking things, but maybe that we do have a little more energy late in the season instead of fading. And it's hard to win. Hey, look, there's only one team's going to win it, so every time you don't, there's a lot of other teams that you're trying to figure out why. But maybe what's something you think we could do that coach could do to change to maybe give us a little bit extra going towards the end of this season?
Well, I do think that the part of this year is going to be that they survived the draft a lot better than they did, the past few years. They've got some kids in here, especially freshman arms, and Irondale and some others that they didn't think would actually land here. And so they're going to have what I think is a stronger unit pitching wise. You get, and we've seen it here for a long, long time, that you get so confident and so used to some guys coming in some innings and just pitching and pitching and pitching. And I think that this staff, not only is it balanced left-handed and right-handed, but there are a lot of different pitching styles that are going to go into this. There's going to be a lot more options, so you don't have to really ride a horse into the ground. And I think that's going to help a lot. Also, I think that to be honest, there are more options out in the outfield this year, and a few more options on the infield that you just don't have to wear everybody down. And I think that's been somewhat the case these last few years, as well as obviously injuries have played a big part in that.
Dudley, so we'll switch over to the hoop court. Kind of any solace, anything to kind of hang our hat on. How are you feeling about this basketball team right now?
It's a roster that was constructed with very good to great players, but not constructed in a way that you have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. I've been around sports a long time. Both of y'all have as well, and you know that there are some times that you have to sacrifice your own results to get better things for the team. And I think, I take great pride in that. I had an NFL player on my high school basketball team, had an NBA player on the high school basketball team, had a kid that went to college, and I didn't score that much except in the fourth quarter, but what I did was get them the ball. And I think there is too much reliance on guys trying to be heroes instead of getting better shots. I think they'll get better as the year goes along, but when you start 0-4, you're already trudging uphill, man.
Yeah, you're talking about making.
No, go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was saying you're talking about making the right basketball play and being thankful for your brother and being excited and there's only one basketball. Everybody can't score 25 a game, but I think that's exactly what you're being disciplined, making the right play. And if you can get easy buckets and transitions because we are athletic, that starts with your defense, and the defense has just been too inconsistent.
Yeah, and that definitely, and I'm glad you pointed out defense. That's certainly something. I'm the guy as a manager who had to count passes back in the early 1980s when Eddie Sutton was having practice. I would have to count to 20-plus passes before they could take a shot. It was, a discipline thing that he did that, showed up in games. You had some great players that didn't take shots, but they knew what to do. And I think, this group will learn as they go along, although you've got a couple of guys, maybe, two of your better players who probably are going to get drafted in the first round. And, at least that's what the mock drafts say. But I think it is the new, narrative or whatever we have here in college basketball. I don't think it's about the money, but I do think it's about the pay. And I think too many times you don't have the glue guys and you don't have the guys who just step up. Because everybody, again, is trying to be the Chief and not one of the Indians.
I think everybody on this roster pretty much got what they wanted in terms of the money.
Yes.
What I'm seeing, and I wonder your thoughts on this, because I look at Vanderbilt and Kentucky, also programs that completely rebuilt the roster and have a first-year head coach. And, with Vanderbilt and Byington, he only brought one guy over from James Madison. I think Jackson Robinson is the only BYU guy. There might be another, and I can't remember who it is, that followed Pope to Kentucky. Cal's got 3 of his Kentucky guys and some of the recruits as well. But Kentucky's winning games. I mean, it's only 4 games into the SEC, so maybe I'm overreacting to this. They're 3-1. Vanderbilt's 2-2 with a win over I think LSU's bad. That's just not a good basketball team.
Agreed.
But none of those teams have as much reliance on freshmen. And however good Boogie is, they're incredibly reliant on him. It feels like his performance has, a heck of a lot to do with a win and a loss. And there's not a single freshman and barely sophomores on Vandy and Kentucky that have that kind of pressure on them. And maybe they don't have the talent either that Boogie does. But those are deeper rosters and more experienced rosters. That's got to stand for something.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and that coalesces with my thing that, I think especially if you're going to have a 9-man rotation, you got to make sure in those 9 you have a variety of different type players that bring you different skills to the basketball court. Ones that not only can bring you offensive support, although we know that they don't shoot the ball well enough outside, but also have that grit on defense, and I'm not sure that's here.
I'd started the show, and this is where to finish on. I'd started the show, and I see this on our text line. Some callers have mentioned it in conversation with others, and then on social media. And maybe it has more to do with an 0-4 SEC start. But some fans are complaining about they feel disconnected from Arkansas athletics. And I'm talking people that have been dyed-in-the-wool Razorback fans since birth and are 50, 60 years old, or even younger in some cases, and have been fans for 25 or 30 years, but they don't quite feel that same connection. Is it a matter of winning, or are you seeing other things?
Oh, I think it's a two-pronged thing. I do think winning helps everything, and you always will have more fans and more excitement when you're winning. But I also think, again, we go back to the collegiate landscape and how it's changed. One thing I will say is, as a media member, I've had to get used to a lot of different things here in the last few years. You don't necessarily talk to a player. You talk to his agent. You talk to his lawyer. Then you talk to him. If you can get through all that. But it's not changing. So I'm either going to continue to work and do what I can. And if you're going to continue to be a fan, you're going to have to accept the landscape we now have. If you want to go find something else to do it, but don't complain about it, because that's what's happening, and there's nothing going to stop it.
Dudley, appreciate you stopping on with us on these Thursdays. Thanks very much, and we'll do it again next week. Thanks.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Dudley.
Dudley Dawson Hogville with us each Thursday on Halftime. Well, you talked a little bit about Razorback baseball at the start of that segment. The Stadium Shop is right there next to Baum-Walker Stadium on Razorback Road. Make sure you got everything you need for baseball season. You can load up on it right now, because it doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. They don't even have to be open. You can go to shoponrazorback.com. They got everything right there on the website. You can call them at 479-STADIUM, or just stop by the Stadium Shop and let them know ESPN Arkansas sent you. Quick break. You want to join us? The number here is 877-377-6963, and we'll be right back.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This is Halftime.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find him at 3201.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching. Sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Here's a text from the 479. Seems to have figured this out for basketball this year. He says it's the curse of the slobbering hog. We were all celebrating it when they put the slobbering hog on the court. That was just like, I think 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah, exactly. There's Ed McMahon in the background.
That's like the football team. The football team was 2-0 without Andrew Armstrong. I think he was the problem this year.
The ghosts have turned evil from the past.
I didn't even realize that, Matt. 2-0 without their best receiver.
Yeah, that was the problem.
They were 4-6 with him. It doesn't make too much. Or no, 5-6 with him. That doesn't make too much sense, does it? That's funny. You make me laugh every once in a while. Open segment here, 877-377-6963. So Quinn Ewers to the NFL draft, Matt.
I think he's a first-round pick. I know that arm talent might have a little bit to do as far as strength, but he has different arm slots. He's had a lot of reps. It's based on kind of what position you go to. But I like him. I like Quinn as I think he's one of the best as far as top 3 or 4 prospects in this draft for quarterbacks.
He's not like a mobile quarterback, but he's not just stationary. I mean, he can move. He can move a little bit. What did you think about Texas at the goal line when push came to shove against Ohio State? Did you think Manning should have been in?
Well, he got in and fumbled, when he got in and he got the first and they didn't call a fumble. But that was my whole point about Texas football, that late in the game against Arizona State when they came back, they did it through the air. Texas, they're not a physical team. They want to track me. If you have to go 3 yards, I'm not saying they don't have talent and can do it, but that's not who they are. That's not the situation they're going to be in and have success on. So it was kind of advantage Ohio State there.
Well, I mean, I don't think that it would have worked another year with him and Manning.
No, it's time, right? He's nipping at his heels. Yeah.
I mean, the rumors were that Notre Dame was interested in Ewers. Heck, they always are
Ewers,
going after older quarterbacks, right? I mean, that have been around for a few years. But now he's on to the NFL draft, and so it's Manning time at Texas.
I'm going to Notre Dame. I'm going to Oregon. That's if I'm Quinn
Ohio
Ewers,
State?
that's where I'm going. Could he go? Yeah, he was at Ohio State. Do you go back
there
for a
1
year?
Right.
But 100%, I am not in a hurry. If I'm an NFL quarterback, I am not in a hurry to get up there at that level because it's life or death, Phil. It is those you miss a read and that outside linebacker comes and hits you and you're not ready. I would take another year. I mean, I really would, unless you're the number 1 overall pick. If I was him, because and it's the NIL. It's what I talked about. Mark Sears, point guards in basketball and quarterbacks in football. Man, they're all going to get an extra year because the money's just too good. Quinn Ewers get $3 million. If Carson Beck is getting $4 million, 100% Quinn Ewers can get $4 million to play college quarterback.
The only thing, so you look at the, what somebody is making as a first or second year quarterback or a first or second year player in the NFL, but that doesn't count the signing bonuses. That's the thing. Is it's still if you're a first.
Well, and you're getting tenure. 3 years, 3 games, you get full retirement. So you want to get there, but you still want to be there at the right spot. Quinn Ewers is going to play 12 years at the next level. It's not like he's. I just wouldn't be in such a hurry. I know a lot of people are like, well, if you got to strike while the market's hot. No, man, you want to strike when you're ready, when it's time to go. Because if you go up there and you're not ready, you're going to last 2 years and then you're not playing anymore. Or it's just a different. Wait till you're spend an extra year, get more reps, just get better prepared for your next step.
So I'm counting 6 teams in the SEC that will start with the same quarterback that they would have started with last year. I may have erred in the counting here because Graham Mertz was the Florida quarterback to start. DJ Lagway finished. One of the reasons they finished in such a strong manner. But the returners would be Taylon Green at Arkansas, DJ Lagway at Florida, Nussmeier at LSU, Michael Van Buren, remember the guy he played well against Arkansas for Mississippi State. He transferred to LSU, but Nussmeier would be the assumed starter. Blake Shapen, who was the starter for the first 4 games for Mississippi State, will be back. And then there's Nico Iamaleava, pretend to pronounce his name properly because his brother's at Arkansas, and Diego Pavia of Vanderbilt. So you have one of the more experienced quarterbacks with your team and a guy that's been around for 4 years in Taylon Green. It's got to stand for something. I think Taylon, look, if you're in terms of arm strength, running ability, speed, the raw aspects of being a quarterback, it's all there. But there's some fine-tuning to occur hopefully in the next few months and developing chemistry with other receivers. So hopefully that plays itself out next season to where the tools equal the production. I thought he was good last year, but I think he can be better.
I think he can be a top 4 quarterback in the SEC, no question. And back to our Hall of Famer Clay Henry's point when he was talking about his new business and how it just took him 2-3 years before he felt. Same thing with an offense. Same thing. That second year, you're going to feel more comfortable. I had 2 offensive coordinators at Arkansas, 2 offensive coordinators in Jacksonville. That second year, man, you're not thinking as much, and people learn it different. I got to read it 3 times to get it down. I'm not the smartest person, but you get it, you figure it out. And that second year, you just feel so much more comfortable. You know where your audibles are. You know where you're hot. You know kind of what the protection's supposed to mean. I think Taylor Green's going to make a massive jump this next year.
And with a completely new set of wide receivers, too, and can't just lock on. Well, he could, but hopefully that won't happen. Other assumed starters at Alabama with Jalen Milroe going to the NFL draft. It'll be Ty Simpson, redshirt junior with 50 passes thrown in 3 years. Auburn has former OU quarterback Jackson Arnold. They did bring in the former Stanford quarterback to battle in the springtime. Lagway at Florida, Gunnar Stockton at Georgia. Zach Calzada, remember him from A&M? Was it Incarnate Word the last couple of years? He's going to be Kentucky's assumed starter. Nussmeier at LSU, Shapen at Mississippi State, the former Penn State backup, Bo Pribula at Mizzou, Washington State transfer John Mateer at Oklahoma, Austin Simmons, who's a left-hander and also a pitcher for Ole Miss, is their assumed quarterback. South Carolina's in really good position with Lenora Sellers. That's a kid who does everything. There's Nico Iamaleava, that's the way to say it. Although Dan and Mairada says he pronounces it Imaliava, which I think he's trying to say Imalivia, which is perfect for transfer portal. Nico Iamaleava, and then Manning at Texas, Marcel Reed at A&M, and Pavia at Vanderbilt. There it is. I mean, spring ball's just a couple of months away, and these are going to be the quarterbacks for teams, at least the assumed starters, going into spring ball. Hour number 2 wraps up in just a moment. Our phone number for calls and texts on halftime is 877-377-6963. Brought to you by our friends at Pradco Fishing Lures. The Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates it. You choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one that the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma Blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma Blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing. And we're here to wrap up the second hour of halftime right after this.
This is halftime.
We're spreading the love and the luck at Choctaw Casino and Resort Pensacola. It's the Lucky in Love giveaway all February and March. We're giving away 2 brand new cars, plus over $100,000 in cash. Enjoy cash drawings, exciting weekly promotions, and the grand prize car giveaway the last Saturday of February and March. Fall madly in luck. It's Lucky in Love at Choctaw Casino and Resort Pensacola. This is how Pensacola plays.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Hi, this is Sydney from Ben Guerin. 2025 annual passes are now available at Ben Guerin Golf Course. We offer a variety of plans to meet your budget needs. We have special pricing for juniors, seniors, and military. If you're looking for the best golf value in the River Valley, then look no further than Ben Guerin Golf Course. Book your 2025 tournament outings now. For more information, call the Pro Shop at 646-5301, go to benguerengolf.com, or follow us on Facebook. When you think golf, think Ben Guerin.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hey, Todd Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Why don't we do it in the road? Why don't we do it in the road? Why don't we do it in the road? No, no, we're watching us. Why don't we do it in the road? Why don't we do it in the road? Why don't we do it in the road?
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Man, Matt, this is quite a day for birthdays today. We got a bunch of them that we could hit on here. A.J. Foyt was born today in 1935, one of the all-time great open-wheel racers. Jack McDowell, known as Blackjack, former AL Cy Young Award winner, was born today in 1966. He was a rocker, and he was also famous for flipping off Yankee fans when he walked off the field one day. I think that's the last game he ever pitched for the Yankees. One of the all-time great boxers, Roy Jones Jr., celebrating a birthday. He was born in 1969. Joe Horn, great receiver, born today in 1972. Yeah. Your boy Joe Flacco, where's he going to be playing? On our list here for birthdays, it calls Joe Flacco former Ravens quarterback. Why are they not calling him former Browns quarterback? Or Delaware Blue Hen or Pitt Panther?
Or current Indianapolis backup.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Albert Pujols has a birthday today. He turns, if you believe, 45 years old. He was born in 1980. But there's a lot of people that think that he might have been born a few years earlier than that, and that could be the reason why there was such a precipitous drop-off at the end of his career.
Smooth Operator, she's turned 66.
Sade?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So I remember Sade, Smooth Operator, No Ordinary Love. She's a great singer and one of the all-time great singers that didn't sing with a vibrato. She was just kind of a straight, she just hit the notes and hold it there. But I remember, my father was a big fan of hers growing up, and the cassette tape that her band made the debut on referred to her name. He said it even put it in parentheses, pronounced Sade. This was her own music label that put this out so that they could pronounce her name correctly. You look at it, you think her name is Sade. The music label was wrong. I mean, I think my father, if he even realized this, that would be a collectible. That cassette tape with the incorrect pronunciation of the singer's name on it, because it's Sade, it's not Sharday. Anyway, baby making music too. That's right.
Johnny Depp's true love, Kate Moss, 51 today. They were youngsters in the 90s, but that's what he said. That's the one. That's his Amber Heard that got away.
And she probably still doesn't look a day older than 17.
Kate Moss still looks great at 51. That's exactly right.
Yeah, Woods doesn't think Albert Pujols is 45. A lot of fans,
I think he's 51. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Hey, I mean, we had a guy with the Travelers one year whose name was Irvin Santana. But remember when this went down, because initially they thought he was a certain age. Well, then the whole thing comes out, realized he was 2 or 3 years older than that, and they nicknamed him Magic. They nicknamed him Magic, not because his name was Irvin, but because his age changed just like that at the drop of a hat from one day to the next. It was magical. Wouldn't we all enjoy if we could just get younger instead of older at the drop of a hat? And you can stay with us here on Halftime for another hour. We've got Brett Dolan coming up in just a little bit. And get over to Andy's Frozen Custard sometime soon, because you're craving something sweet and delicious, and Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. You can ask about the Pick Six at any of their locations in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue, Conway, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive, and North Little Rock, JFK Boulevard. That's 6 of your favorite flavors. Perfect treat to take home for family and friends at Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, they are ready to serve you. Get on with us very soon as Halftime continues after the break. 877-377-6963. We are right back.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
Come to the Party Place. Let's party. The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you could restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies are high this afternoon in the low to mid 50s. We stay clear tonight, overnight low in the low 30s. We'll see some sunshine early Friday, cloudy skies building in throughout the day. Otherwise, we may see a little rain in the afternoon, a high in the low to mid 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. One, two, three. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. It's hour number 3 of halftime. Brett Dolan will come up 15 minutes or so from right now. We'll dig in on Arkansas basketball, baseball with him. Got some NFL playoffs to get to in this segment. But Matt, I wanted to hit on just another quick thing here as I brought up Irvin Johnson, former pitcher I had with the Travelers. I had forgotten about this. A text out of the 337 reminded me of this. He was pitching for our team, the Travelers, in 2005. He got called up. I think it was right from Double-A to the big leagues to make his debut against Cleveland on May 17th. And I don't think anybody's – heck, I doubt people have even started a game like this, much less their career. Matt, the first 4 batters that Irvin Santana faced in his career as a major league pitcher hit a double, a single, a home run, and a triple. First 4 batters he ever faced in the major leagues hit a cycle off of him. And then he ended up pitching 16 years in the big leagues anyway. So I've not even heard of that before, but I remember when it happened to Irvin, and this fellow reminded me of it. Bad way to start your career. It's like be a quarterback. What could you do in your first 4 plays? Throw an interception, get sacked, fumble, and have a safety that you took on a sack. It would be a great way to start your career, wouldn't it?
You know, I think Matt Leinart, the USC quarterback that won the Heisman Trophy, and it might have been to Mike Williams, but his first ever pass for the USC Trojans was a touchdown pass. So he started the other way and ended up winning a Heisman. But yeah, it's not how you start, right? It's how you finish. And this Hog basketball team, maybe they need to to get your boy A.J. Brown's book and look for some inner excellence, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. This Hog team finds a way to – you got to win. It starts with one, I know that. But they find a way to win 3 or 4 in a row. Don't you just feel a little better about going forward that they have a chance?
I'd feel better if they just find a way to be the first team that doesn't wear Mizzou colors to win a game at Mizzou Arena on Saturday. If that happens, if that happens, then I think we can start talking about not making the tournament, not winning 4 or 5 games in a row, but hey, this team just won a game. What does this mean for the next one? On radio, it's our job sometimes to look ahead. What do you think's going to happen with this team this year before the first game? And as you go on, there's just a tournament team. How many wins do you think we need to make the tournament? All of that kind of stuff. I hope the players aren't worried about this. I hope the team is not thinking ahead of themselves like that. I mean, Matt, there is truth in cliches. We hate hearing the cliches, but they keep getting said for very good reasons at times. And you cannot be worried about making the NCAA tournament if you're a basketball team that's 0-4 in the SEC on January the 16th. I don't even think you can worry about next week's game. I don't even think it's a matter of Saturday's game. Of course, they're planning for Mizzou. They're game planning. They're scouting and figuring out how to combat that team. So, of course, you're worried about the upcoming team, but you got to really take it to just very small little intervals of excellence. Have 5 good minutes, and then worry about the next 5 minutes, so on and so forth. The next thing you know, you played a good first half, and then it's the second half, and Matt, that's where things just kind of fall apart.
Well, and so there's different ways to go about it, Phil. And if you're an offensive team you're a basketball team, you're only going to play 7-8 guys really. So we are athletic. So if we got and Dudley brought this up, either Dudley or Clay, but it's if you get a transition, if you can get something off your defense and you can attack, let's go attack. But if you can't, let's run the offense. Because we talk about being stressful. You know what's stressful? It's harder to play good defense than it is to play good offense. Like just taxing on your body. It's more so the more time of possession you can have, and I get it, basketball is kind of an arcade game. It's even more arcade in NBA with the 24-second shot clock. But the more you can make them work on defense, and it's like a running back at the end of the third quarter, he starts breaking arm tackles. So maybe the first 7 minutes, man, they're still playing defense. You're not really getting your shot the way you want it. But then they start to break down because they get tired as well. So you would like to see, if we don't have it in transition, dude, let's run our offense, pass the ball, cut with purpose, make them defend, and then it starts to wear them out, and then it gives you a chance the last 6, 7, 8 minutes of the second half. Instead of fading, maybe we can blossom a little bit.
I got a text from JT in Hot Springs, and I got to ask you about this. He says that your first pass attempt at Arkansas was a touchdown. Is this true?
Well, I don't know if they were keeping those records back then. That
sounds like the answer is yes.
Richard Smith, it was against Auburn. So we're playing Auburn, Phil, and I'm a freshman, and I didn't play the first couple games as a red shirt. Then you come in and play a little quarterback, kind of like what Arch Manning was. It's like you play a little bit and kind of the running quarterback. And so we had a little going, moving the ball a little bit, and coach signals into play. And it's a play that I've never ran before. All I've ever seen is Zach Clark run it before. And so I thought, he goes, no, you. He's like, no, you run it. And I'm just like, hey, George, what do you got on this play? Hey, what do you – so Richard's like my third read on that play. And the way it worked out, I don't know. It's just Richard. It was an underrated receiver. If that dude would have been in today's game, man, he was explosive. He was a great player.
There it is. I see the box score. 2001, October 27th in Razorback Stadium. Arkansas 42, Auburn 17, and with 8:20 remaining in the second quarter, Richard Smith, 21-yard pass from Matt Jones to make it 14-3. Arkansas. Then later you ran for a touchdown of 32 yards. So, of course, it took somebody else to remind us of one of your own achievements here, Matt.
I think I was close to I think I had not ended that game on 99 yards rushing. You want to get to 100.
Oh, so it's the one. It's that one freaking yard. Did you get sacked? Was it a sack that might have done it? Who knows? Heck, you threw only one pass. You threw 3 passes in that game, and one of them's a touchdown. Not bad.
Efficiency, man. Efficiency. That's right.
That's exactly right. So good. Remember, JT's got that sort of remembrance, man. He really does have a sense of it here. We got a text from Mr. Pibb too, as I brought up Albert Pujols a moment ago. I wasn't aware of this. You know our friend Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smiles. He was a baseball player. I think he played at UCA. But according to Mr. Pibb on our text line, Charlie's brother was pitching for West Ark. And Pujols came out of junior college. Like, he didn't play major college baseball. He was a nobody. Nobody really thought about him when he was drafted by St. Louis. He was a third baseman for Maplewood. And according to Mr. Pibb, Dr. Charlie's brother gave up a bomb to Pujols back in the day. Now, he might have been a 25-year-old junior college player masquerading as someone that was 18. I don't know. But apparently, he had a home run off of Dr. Charlie's brother. Not bad. That's the one you always tell people about then. It's like that one time Ricky Henderson stole a base against you. Yeah, you weren't going to throw him out. You imagine junior college pitchers trying to get Albert Pujols out when he's 23 years old, for crying out loud. Heck, I mean, we did have some guys that I had on lower minor league teams. There was a pitcher we had named I think it was Antonio Arcangel. And the roster, I was the one who put the roster together, so I get the birthdays from the Brewers, were our affiliate, and it was like, well, this guy's 19 years old. You're like, I think he's got kids that are 19 years old. This guy's not 19. Like, the guys were calling him grandfather. They were calling him grandpa for a rookie league team. And he's 19? Nah, he's not 19. There's just no way that was the case. Now, there were the thoughts of Pujols in terms of, maybe some chemicals or whatever, but maybe it wasn't matter. He was just a lot older than some people thought.
And he's extremely talented. Yeah, I mean, we can't forget that he's has amazing talent.
Well, and you got to also credit the Cardinal scouts for taking a flyer on a guy back when you could take somebody in the 50th or 45th round or whatever it was, and now you can't do that anymore. 20 rounds, that's it. We'll break here in a moment. Brett Dolan coming up to talk about, we got a lot we can get to with Brett. We got NFL playoffs coming up. We got the college football championship game on Monday, baseball about a month away, and basketball coming up on Saturday. Get over to Crabtree RV Center in Alma anytime you're thinking about adventures for the family over the late spring or the summer or the early fall. There is an RV at Crabtree that fits exactly what you are hoping to do. You find Crabtree RV Center, where you found them for over 70 years now, in Alma. They're at the junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel, and online at crabtreerv.com. A break, and Brett Dolan joining us right after this.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is halftime.
We're here at Bud Walton Arena, where it is about as loud as a building could get. The loudest arena to start a game I've ever been in.
This is a hard place. You don't come here expecting to win. Let me tell you that.
The name, the brand, the identity that he brings to a program that has a storied, rich tradition, an outstanding fan base in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio. Simon, what's going on post-Christmas?
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Evans Body Shop in Van Buren is a proud local business serving the River Valley since 2006. Thanks to our customers, our business is growing. We invite you to stop by, call, or drop in and visit with us about our new paint system, work efficiencies, and certification training program for our entire team. Our commitment to you is to continue to embrace new technologies and operational enhancements that provide the very best experience for you, our customers. 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Don't you worry about what's I'm in no hurry. I'm going red. I'm talking time. I'm up ahead. I better cha-cha-cha over. Let's spend the night together. I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together now.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Thursdays in our third hour, we always start the second segment with a very simple question with our good friend and guest, Brett Dolan, who covers all Arkansas athletics, college baseball, college football, the NFL, and what have you. But the simple question always is, where in the world is Brett Dolan today? Brett, where are you?
Here in beautiful Fayetteville, Arkansas, soaking up this springtime heat while I can, and got a quick weekend trip planned out of state, and then I'll be back for gymnastics on Monday. So away we go.
All right, very good. Let's start on baseball, since I know you were in on the Zoom yesterday, and Dave spoke for about 30 minutes. You think it's going to be a team that should hopefully not fall into the offensive slumps that we saw last year? It looks like an athletic team, a fast team. I'm hoping for contact. I'm hoping for hard contact.
I'm hopeful. I'm going to have to see it, I guess, to believe it in some senses, because Dave also mentioned in that press conference, sometimes the way you win in the SEC is you have to hit the ball over the fence. And it seems good in theory that you've got to have more high average hitters and players that can run. The one thing, though, Phil, that I'll be curious to see how it plays out, and I think Dave mentioned this, there's not a ton of games right out of the gates that you can kind of experiment with, but in the last decade, it doesn't matter if it's Major League Baseball or college baseball or whatnot, there's a great appreciation for your 27 outs, and that means you don't give them away bunting and you don't give them away on the bases. So if you're able to run and have success, that's one thing. If you're getting guys thrown out, does that end that experiment? Do you keep running? Do you risk making outs on the bases and eliminating your 27? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out together what that looks like.
You know, and one thing that I did ask him about, and I do feel like it may be kind of like we haven't even been talking about it too much, because there's so much focus on how can this team do offensively, and the pitching staff is going to be really good. But I think a real linchpin to what this team could be is Ryder Helfrich, the catcher, because he's going to have such an impact on both aspects of this. And I think Helfrich could end up being one of the most dynamic players in the country. Because he's amazingly athletic. I think he's fast for a catcher. He's got pop, and he knows what he's doing behind the plate, and he learned how to call a game in college last year, which not a lot of college catchers even get a chance to do, never mind being a freshman. And, yeah, there's a lot of talent to work with on that staff. But you look at all the good Arkansas teams, they have a catcher that helps control the pitching staff and that staff believes in. And I think one of the biggest jumps to see this next year isn't necessarily Ryder's hitting, it's how he catches.
Well, I do think Helfrich's going to be a key piece, and I think, in a sense, Phil, he's probably already made that jump offensively last year in the Cape. And I think he tied for the league lead in home runs. Vahiva might have been in that, Petrie from South Carolina. And you're talking about a guy who didn't play much as a freshman and had a little struggle here and there and did have a couple of bombs, but then goes to the Cape against top competition, swinging wood, playing on a regular basis, and had a great summer. So I think that's going to carry over, and I'm with you. I think you make that jump between a freshman year to a sophomore year, but, you know, Dave teased it. You know, they didn't think they were going to get him at one point, and then, you know, he didn't play a lot and didn't play well at times last year, and yet he went off and showed his ability against the top competition in the country during the summer.
Hey, before I ask you about Ohio State, Notre Dame, you got to see Quinn Ewers live, and it's he's declared for the NFL draft. Where do you kind of place him? Do you think he's a first rounder? Do you think it maybe is a Carson Beck deal where he's going to say he's entering the draft, or even Michael Penix, Cam Ward last year did that from Washington State. He said he was going to enter the draft and then ended up going with another team. You know, Carson Beck's going to make $4 million a year. I would think Quinn Ewers could make $4 million. You know, there's a lot of teams out there that would want a Quinn Ewers. Do you think he goes to the NFL draft? What are your kind of thoughts on Quinn Ewers?
I think he's going, Matt, and my Texas people have been telling me for months because I've asked. I know you brought it up, and I've been curious, and I'm like, is he going? And they've consistently said from the beginning of the year, well, you know, he's kind of feeling like this is the end of the run college-wise. He's going to go take his wares to the NFL. Now, you brought up the money, and, you know, there was that $6 million figure floated. That came from one school, and we can all figure out who it is. They're still playing, and they're going to lose a transfer quarterback, and they have the money to spend it. But you know, I don't blame the kid if he thinks it's time for him just to see what he can do in the NFL. The question is he a third or a fourth round pick? I mean, he's probably better than Carson Beck right now, but he's not going to be at the top of that scale. So, so many players are coming back for fifth and sixth years and whatever and taking the money because they know they can get it here and waiting for the NFL. Ewers is one of the few, I guess, who's saying, you know what, I've had my time in college. It's a chance to go see what it looks like at the next level and kind of bet on yourself a little bit. So I don't mind him doing that. I'd rather him, you know, jump and go rather than be on another team, his third team in his college football journey.
And maybe that's the way he viewed it too. You know, maybe like the idea of it's a great time to be a college athlete, you can make some money and all of that. That doesn't always mean that guys want to stay and do them. I want to start the next phase of life. And look, when you're someone that's been as highly recruited as Quinn Ewers and in such a spotlight, because of the programs he's played for and the success that he's enjoyed. You want to see what you can do at that next level, and I think now's the right time. I don't know if he'd get much better in college because he looked really good. I wonder about the arm strength sometimes, but look, I think he's got accuracy and he can move a little bit and feels maybe. Do you think now is the right time?
I don't know if it is or not, but if you feel like, hey, I'm a Longhorn, I'm not a Notre Dame Fighting Irish player. I'm going to get an opportunity to at least be on a roster. I'm going to go through some preseason games. I'm going to show off what I can do. Then again, he's kind of betting on himself. I think he made some big time plays and big time throws down the stretch. There are moments where you look at him and you're thinking, I don't get it. Why isn't he better? And so on and so forth. But it's not an overwhelming quarterback class this year, next year in the NFL. So maybe he gets an opportunity and maybe he gets a chance. And I think the one thing, I don't mind when people are done with college and ready to go to the NFL. I feel like we have too many people on too many stops already in our college game where it gets confusing. He's going to go out as a Longhorn. He's going to go out as somebody who played in a couple of college football playoffs, and he'll take his chances at getting some playing time at the next level.
Brett, give me a key for both these teams. Give me a reason how Notre Dame beats Ohio State, if you have one, and then what does Ohio State have to do? Is it just not turn the ball over? Give me a reason why both of these teams could win this national championship game.
I think one way Notre Dame would win is if Ohio State goes through these stretches, and they had a little bit of that against Texas in the Cotton Bowl, where it felt like they were unenthused, and it was penalties, and it was stupid holding penalties and personal fouls that killed drives and took away a lot of momentum. If Ohio State comes out with a little sluggishness, that allows Notre Dame to maybe control the tempo with a running game and whatnot. I would also say if Notre Dame is to win, they're going to have to do a really good job on Ohio State's two receivers. They play a lot of man coverage, which I don't know if they can do against that duo, but they do get a lot of picks, and Howard will throw one every once in a while. So if they can get Ohio State not playing well, Howard throws a couple of picks, that's their recipe. I would say for Ohio State, on the other end, Caleb Downs is going to be a big guy defensively, kind of a safety/linebacker. If he's making a lot of plays, if he's frustrating Jeremiah Love and also frustrating Riley Leonard and lets that offense figure it out and they get time to get their weapons involved, then I think the Buckeyes have a chance to win by double figures and finish off what'll be a crazy run. You think about this, guys, in college football, we talked about what the playoff would mean. 4 teams that would not have been in, and Ohio State was one of those, and will it diminish some of the rivalries in regular season games? In the old world, they would have had to sit on that loss to Michigan. Michigan would have bragging rights, and here we are talking about the team having a chance to win a championship.
Well, I mean, it's good. It's good for college football. It's good for fans. You know, one loss doesn't end your season. I don't have a problem with 12 teams getting in and opening up making it a real tournament. I mean, I think this has been a good year for college football. If it feels a little bit janky because of the way the teams got to bye, you can fix that thing. And I don't know if you need to expand the tournament any more than it is, but it sounds like they're going to. I mean, I think this has been a good thing for college football.
It's been fun. I mean, we've seen games on campus. We've seen the 11 games. It's hard to believe the FCS has 24 teams, and they've been done for over a week. And Major College Football has 12, and we're still going. It feels like this playoff alone has been a month plus, because I guess it has been in some senses. I think the one thing we're going to get to at the end, we've had a lot of blowouts, and we've kind of overlooked that because it's new and it's fun. The matchups and the seedings will probably be changed. I still think at the end, you don't have that many teams that are capable of winning a national championship. It was fun to have Boise in there and SMU and whatnot. Those teams were not winning a championship, and we're down to 4 blue bloods, and now we're down to the 2 bluest of blue bloods who are spending money like there's no tomorrow at Ohio State. Notre Dame's making a lot of money. I still don't know if the little guy is going to be a part of this when you get deep, but we have had fun, I think, just kind of watching it play out and see what it's all about, something we've never had before.
Brett, I love these quarterback matchups in the NFL playoffs. I think back to the Colts and the Patriots a couple times where they met. Even Big Ben and the Steelers get into that unit. And the Chargers with Phillip Rivers never getting over the hump. But those quarterback matchups in the playoffs are just epic. This Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson matchup. And I know it's a team game, but I'm just, it feels like it's much watched TV. What do you got in this one? Who do you see coming out on top?
Ooh, I got to see the Ravens in person on Christmas Day in Houston, and Lamar was so good, and the Ravens were so good. At the time, I kind of left thinking, is Allen really better than Lamar Jackson as far as an MVP? He probably is. I think it's a great matchup, and I think the one question mark for Lamar continues to be his postseason play and having a bad game at the wrong time. But the Bills are trying to get over the hump, too, in some senses. They're trying to get a rematch with Kansas City, get an opportunity to take down the Chiefs to get to a Super Bowl. I would probably lean Buffalo, but I know I'm going to be glued to the TV because I really want to see these guys kind of battle it out and play for supremacy. It's almost weird because it feels like it could be an AFC championship game, but it clearly isn't. But it is for that right to play Kansas City. But I would probably lean Buffalo just a bit. But Lamar, I still think, is the most exciting player, but Allen probably a little better overall with consistency and certainly in the postseason.
So you obviously know that Euchre passed away at age 90 earlier today, and I think of someone that you've worked with, and I think we've talked about on the show before as well, Milo Hamilton, the longtime voice of the Brewers, or the longtime voice of the Astros. I can't think, though, of two more different broadcasters than those two. It's not like Milo didn't have a sense of humor. He had the briefcase, and he had all of those copious notes. He did that kind of stuff before a lot of others did. And Euchre, as good as he was like a stand-up comic on the radio. Those were, to me, kind of the two extremes.
They were extremes. They were fun because I got to be a part of a lot of series for a number of years where they would be in the same building and next door in booths, and they had a good back and forth. I think Euchre might have worked a little bit with Milo, with Atlanta, but it was fun because they were two big personalities, and it was back to the era where it wasn't just 5 or 6 broadcasters for every team. They had the undisputed voice of the team, and Euchre was that for the Brewers for so many years, and Milo was for a couple of different teams, finishing off in Houston. But I know I always enjoyed my time, Phil, being around Euchre. He was kind of one of a kind. He had a great personality. He brought laughter. He brought fun to the ballpark almost every day, and my goodness, he kept going until I think he's 90 when he passed. So that's an amazing run, and a guy who's really synonymous with a franchise. And other than the Dodgers and Scully, I'm not sure there have been many broadcasters that have been so woven into a fabric and so synonymous with the team as Euchre in Milwaukee.
But I also feel, Brett, like I listened to him this last year at the age of 89, and I listened to Milo some, and I listened to Sterling and the guys that have been around, and Denny Matthews, and as you get older, you lose some of the things that make you who you were. And I don't feel like Euchre really lost much off his fastball. He was going to be coming back for another year at age 90, and I'm not saying he was as good as he was in 72, but at 89 years old, the guy could still call a game and do it accurately and capture the emotion of the moment and the emotion of the crowd and still have a great sense of humor. I was amazed by how good he was at that advanced age.
I'll be honest with you. Had he lived to 95, he might have kept calling games till he was 95. It was so important to him. The one thing he did that I think sometimes the older broadcasters get away from is he was in the clubhouse on a daily basis. He was considered part of the team. They would hold off celebrations for postseason until he could get down and be a part of it and spray the champagne. So he was around the players. He was around the staff, which I think gave him great access to talk about the team. He was always funny. He had that comedic instinct that few have. And I would agree. I think he kept broadcasting at a very high level until the very end.
All right, Brett, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you hopping on. Enjoy these Thursday visits, and we'll look forward to another one next week.
Absolutely, guys.
Thanks, Brett.
Brett Dolan with us on a Thursday here on Halftime. Thanks to our friends at Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farm, providing every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Thinking of general dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, also same-day crowns available. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice, making sure their patients have better lives, a better smile, will be more confident when you leave, and have a comfortable experience every time at Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A, entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Make sure you tell them that you heard about them on ESPN Radio. You'll get $300 off a Snore Guard. Meanwhile, we are in the home stretch on halftime on a Thursday. Our number here is 877-377-6963, and we'll be right back after the break.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Baby, oh baby, I just need your tender loving to keep me sane in this burning loving. When my time is up, be my rebound. It's worth container.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Okay, let's see what we get to here. So we got NFL playoffs coming up on Saturday, Matt. Open up my playoff bracket here. Should have some good games. Usually the divisional round will involve some really exciting games. Chiefs and Texans, Bills and Ravens. It's like we see that every year now. Lions, Commanders. What was it? Washington's first playoff win since 2006, I think. And the Eagles and the Rams. Houston gonna have to
days. Yeah.
What's that?
Well, you said 06. It said it was almost 7,000 days in between playoff wins, Phil.
That's a lot of days. You tell me how many days it's been since the Pirates were last in a World Series? It'll be October of 1979. Go ahead, ask ChatGPT at some point, huh? But one of the reasons why. Well, let me play this little bit here from Bill Belichick as to who he sees as the favorite in the AFC.
I could see whichever team wins this Baltimore-Buffalo matchup being the favorite next week in the AFC Championship game.
Over Kansas City, because everybody assumes they'll advance over Houston at home.
I still think that those two teams overall have been just a little more solid this year than Kansas City. Kansas City's tough. You can't count them out. Certainly not playing at home, but Baltimore and Buffalo are going to be, whichever team survives, is going to be ready to go into Kansas City, and that'll be a battle if Kansas City wins.
Okay, so now it's not the equalizer here, because if you're looking at this, Kansas City's got the record, a real gaudy record. Buffalo and Baltimore may have played overall better throughout the season. Not so many close calls, but playing at Arrowhead, that's different. That's different than anywhere else. It's the loudest stadium ever, 142 decibels in a game against the Pats in 2014. I don't think there's ever been a louder stadium on earth. And so that's got to be a factor of this game. You and I have been saying it, Matt, from the start, once it became apparent that Kansas City had home field advantage. They might not be the best team in the AFC overall, really, but they're playing in the toughest place to win games.
It'd be rocking. I played in that stadium, Phil, and it was just a regular game, and it was the loudest stadium. So I 100%, it was the loudest stadium I'd played in the NFL. So,
and being on the offensive side, I mean, didn't that just, how difficult was it to actually hear what you needed to hear?
It's harder for the quarterback and the lineman. The receivers is a little more hand motion, a little more eye contact. You as a receiver, you're not supposed to listen to the cadence anyways, so you don't want to jump. So yeah, but for identifying the mic, getting your pass protection the right way, being able to talk and you can't actually hear. So it's important for the quarterback to be loud. But yes, it can cause you to take an extra time out. It can cause you to get a if it's second long or third, you end up getting sacked, and you're not really getting to the play you want to. So it can take a couple possessions away. The thing is, though, these are veteran teams, so they should be an ideal situation as far as in practice they'll turn. We would have Del Rio, you'd have the music up so loud, and you would have silent counts, and you wouldn't even be able to talk. You'd have to communicate in a way so you're on the same page. So they'll be preparing for it, but there's nothing like it than when you're actually there. My question is, if you're the Chiefs, who do you want to play? Do you want to play that Ravens defense? Do you believe in the Ravens? I don't know. I think I'd want to stay away from the Bills. And I love the Ravens defense, but if I think the Bills already beat the Chiefs once. I don't know, but I think I do tend to agree with Belichick that the Ravens and the Bills, man, those are the two best teams. I really do believe it.
I think Baltimore would be the toughest of the teams. I mean, this is a team that ran for nearly 300 yards and made
that running
Pittsburgh
back, right?
quit.
Yeah, you're right.
They made him quit. I mean, that's a rivalry game. That's a playoff game. There's nothing that should say that a team should ever look like they quit. But I watched it, and it looked like Baltimore made Pittsburgh quit. They got Hall of Famer at running back. They got a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer at quarterback. Not saying that Josh Allen isn't going to be a Hall of Famer too, potentially, because he's got the stuff. But I think Lamar Jackson, I think this is a year for Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm not going to say that they can go in to Arrowhead and win that game because I'm also of the belief that I believe it when I see it, because it's 2 years in a row that they're the world champions. The whole conversation going into last year of, they didn't have quite the wide receivers. It's not an offense that's clicking on all cylinders. Maybe they feel like taking a year off because they've already won a Super Bowl, and you know what? They won the Super Bowl anyway. And now they get a chance to be in front of a rabid crowd that hasn't been in that stadium for near a month. And you're listening here to Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator of the Texans. There's going to be a difference in the atmosphere between regular and postseason.
Yeah, I mean, it always helps going to Arrowhead to just let guys see what it's like, feel the environment. But my gut tells me when we go there in the playoffs, it's going to be a different animal. And, that's something we've talked about a lot. That's something we've seen a lot. We've kind of dug into some old film and old TV copies just to see what it's like in the playoffs at Arrowhead, and is it that much different, and so we've talked about it a lot, and that's going to be a huge challenge for us. We got to make sure that we own the things that we can control, and our operation in the huddle, our operation at the line of scrimmage is without a doubt something we have to own in this game.
Another reason why I think, they played earlier this year in Kansas City, Houston, but I do think it's a lot different between playing a game in October and playing a game in January in that stadium. Another thing that I think about the Ravens, Matt, John Harbaugh is an outstanding coach, and I think sometimes he's glossed over amongst some of the other head coaches currently in the NFL. He's got the Super Bowl championship, but I do think he is not a generational coach, but I do think that he's one of the 3-4 best in the league currently. And I believe in his ability too. And maybe it's just the last name as well, because Matt, who has it any better than us, right? You got one guy who won a national championship the year before, and now, brother may end up winning one again. But they got to beat the Bills first, and they got to go into Buffalo, and it's going to be freezing cold, and it's going to be snowing. So then there's that aspect to it as well. Baltimore's got to go into Buffalo and win. And then if you could imagine a team that could win at Buffalo and then at Kansas City 1 week after the other, I'll show you a team that will be the favorite in the Super Bowl then.
Tackling Derrick Henry, nobody's been able to do it all year. Roquan Smith, the linebacker for the Ravens, one of my favorite players to watch. It's fun to pick out defensive guys because they know how to, one of your favorite, Troy Polamalu, he could change the game, just a defensive guy to watch. You think of James Harrison on that squad. But, man, that Baltimore team, when you talk about talent and lining them up and saying and measuring that, they are the best team left in the AFC, just talent-wise. So we'll see if they can put it together, but I'm a big-time Roquan Smith fan.
877-377-6963 if you want to get any thoughts in about that. We'll get into some of the NFC games tomorrow because, yes, there was a great article on ESPN's website today about Dan Skipper and how popular he is amongst the Lions fans. There was an interesting little note that the author makes about Skipper before he, has been with the Lions now for, I think, the last 3 seasons, maybe 4 seasons, because he kind of bounced around a little bit. The article says that he had called Sam Pittman in 2021 to ask, what other options does he think there could be for his career? And he actually asked Pittman if he should try to join the coaching staff as a strength coach. So maybe there'll be something like that in the near future when Skipper's NFL career is over. But I'll say this, right now it doesn't look like that career is about to end anytime soon because he's a really valuable piece of that team. And I feel like, if I think of the Ravens, Matt, and it's a team that's got a personality and plays like that personality, the Detroit offense has a personality that they play to as well, and Skipper is kind of just like, I think, embodies it.
Man, it's tough, Phil. The war of attrition, but the amount of players Detroit's lost on that defense when they really get down to it, you know, if you can control the time of possession and if you can get a turnover or two, but they just their room for error is minimized when you lose a pass rusher like Hutchinson and the amount of players they lost. So yeah, that offense has to play. They're a tough physical. When you think about winning championships, that's the physicality that you want, the way Detroit plays offense.
I want to thank WT Equipment, sponsoring our show as always, your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. WT Equipment has it all, from high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors, hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. They are second to none in what they've got on their lot. If you need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet, just give WT Equipment a call or stop by any of their 7 locations, including in Springdale. You can also go online to WTEquip.com. WT Equipment, your partner in progress. Quick break. Wrap the show up right after this.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is halftime. Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Old man winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and Coach John Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. If you have tickets, make sure they're being used. If you need tickets, head over to SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek, that's the official resale marketplace of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Who's gonna tell you that it's too late? Who's gonna tell you things are so great?
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Well, it's been an enjoyable Thursday. Hopefully Friday will be just as enjoyable. We'll do it all over again. And make sure if you missed some of the show that you download it from the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast, anywhere you get your podcast, thanks to Eastside Liquor at 9390 Rogers Avenue, 479-452-7311. Well-stocked liquor store that's been a part of our podcast now for 3 years. And let's see, you got Ruskin and Zach coming up. No Arkansas game tonight, no women's game tonight. They'll be back in action on Sunday. And so, it's like a couple days to try to figure out an Arkansas win against Missouri. And you got soccer to watch today, Matt? Or there's always soccer.
There's always soccer. You actually do have a Premier League battle. You got the Southampton. They are in last place, so they are in relegation battle for sure. Man United not as good as they want to be. New coach this year. Marcus Rashford, their best player, not playing. Hadn't been on the squad since December 12th. Looks like they're trying to move him. So Man United Southampton coming up in just about 2 minutes.
Oh, here's a little bit that I'd meant to get to. Remember Desmond James, offensive.
Where'd he go?
Top offensive player in the Liberty Bowl. He's signed with Cal. He's going to be a California Golden Bear after visiting Purdue, Oklahoma State, Utah, Mississippi State, and California. So we won't see him anywhere near us, but he'll be playing ACC teams.
Man, what a great time to be a college athlete. Wow.
Absolutely agree with you 100%.
I just wonder if we hear his name again. Same thing with your UNLV guy that's going to be Jimmy Madison. It's like, we ever going to hear these guys that go on? Do you even ever hear about them again?
Well, I don't know. Let's make a note. Check back about that in about 10 months, because by October, we should have heard his name by then. Great stuff today. We'll do it again tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Stay tuned. Ruskin and Zach are coming up right now. And if you haven't done it, have the download the Hit That Line Now app, brought to you by Taco Bell. The Taco Bell Lux Cravings Box, 3 full-size classics for $7. Chips, nacho cheese sauce, and a drink. Taco Bell, where every bite is a win. And thanks for listening to Halftime today. For Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. That's it. Get up, get out, and get better.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little